to the Biz Gone Social podcast. We help entrepreneurs navigate how to get known, get customers, and get the edge over their competition. Here is your host, Lorraine Duncan.
So here we are with episode 17, and I'm so glad to be here. And as always, my promise to you is that I just want to give you a little bit of verbal caffeine that's going to energize your social media marketing, and it's going to help you stay social. After all, don't you really want to be the business that everyone's talking about? I know I do. So today I'm going to start a new series on consistency and how important it is to be consistent on social media. And one of the things that I want to really start talking about here is that when it comes to social media, we have everything down. We have the graphics, we have the page, we fill the about section. But a lot of people out there don't have the consistency. And what I mean by that, they don't post consistently. They're not on any of the platforms. You never see them. And so the question I want to ask you today, and what this episode's going to be about, is why should you be consistent on social media? Because I really feel that being consistent is the key. And one reason that you should be consistent on social media is that people need to see you. They need to see content from you. And I'll explain as we go. So the bottom line is consistency on social media looks like you're posting every day. I have a really good story to go along with this, is that just imagine that your best friend texts you and you don't respond. And then she texts you again and you don't respond. And then she decides that she's going to text you randomly in 4 weeks. And you don't respond. And then maybe in 6 weeks. And before you know it, you're not even connecting with one another. Consistent posting is so important. It's so important to be on every day. Now, the thing is what you want to think about when it comes to this being consistent when you're posting is that you want, again, I always say this, you want to give good content. So your friend, think about texting your friend and you guys not responding to one another. You really want to say something that is going to make your friend respond. Such as, for me, a great thing that I have a friend who we go out to coffee together pretty much every Sunday. Sometimes we don't. Sometimes we take a break. But the bottom line is, as soon as she says the word Cafe Aroma, I'm there, because it's like one of my favorite places. If she never posted or texted me about Cafe Aroma, I would probably never go. So that's why it's important to be posting. People have to know where you are, what you're doing, what's going on, what you have to say, what you are selling occasionally, and you don't want to be too spammy. The other thing that's really important when one of the reasons why you should be consistent on social media is that actually Facebook and Twitter and Instagram, they have an algorithm, and it is based on, they show your stuff based on if people are interacting with you, and then it gets shown. So the bottom line is, as long as your posts aren't too spammy, people are going to interact with you in some way. They're going to like your post. They're going to talk about it. They're going to keep on coming back. And that's really important. So I want you to keep that in mind, that not only are you want to be consistent with your posting, but the reason why you want to be consistent with your posting is because there's an algorithm that you have to hack. You have to make sure that you are being seen and that Facebook and Twitter and Instagram are showing your posts. The other thing has to do with perception. And I don't know how to explain this, but it's important that there's a certain group of people out there, the millennials, that they probably cannot go more than 5 hours without actually going to social media. And probably the average, I should say 2 hours, probably 2 hours. And maybe the average person maybe will wait about 5 hours. That being said, if they're going on social media and you're not being seen, probably the perception you're giving is that you just don't have enough content to give them. And why should they go to you? And that's an important question you really have to ask is think about this, is that think about what maybe someone would say, like, why should I follow you or your business if you haven't nothing new to contribute to my addiction? So think about that, think about if you post irregularly or say maybe once or twice a week, the perception is you just don't have enough content to offer. So what is my benefit for following you? So think about that, and in reality, with social media, you do have the power to influence people. And if you're only trying to sell things all the time, instead of giving your audience and your customer really good content that they can grow from, that's what's going to happen. They're not going to follow you. You're not going to be even noticed. And the other thing is you always want to, again, I always go back to this. Why should you be consistent? Because if you have a real life business and you are in real life, you want to be consistent. So I hope this helps. And if you have any questions about how you can be consistent or need more help with your social media marketing, feel free to email me at Lorraine@bizgonesocial.com.
Thanks for listening to the Biz Gone Social podcast. Find us on Instagram at Biz Gone Social for extra tips. Check back weekly for new episodes. Until next time, stay social.